don't. So we're going to just quickly tell them all about you, Bruce.
First of all, Bruce is a friend. I've worked with him many times, and we've been in several countries together, actually, on stage. His story is amazing. And we did a TV show together with him for an hour where we walked through some of these most profound and hilarious stories. And he goes and goes, and it's just an astounding thing. So that television show is available, and it's free. So it has a lot of humor, it has a lot of profound things about how he discovered what he did, which really starts to set him up as what I call the father of epigenetics. So for all of you who wish to, I'm watching this now, both our members and also on YouTube, you can get this free show at Kryon.com/Bruce, all lowercase.
Now, Bruce Lipton is a PhD. He is a cell biologist and lecturer. He's an internationally recognised leader in bridging science and spirituality. Bruce was on the faculty of the University of Wisconsin's School of Medicine and later performed groundbreaking stem cell research at Stanford University. He's the best-selling author of The Biology of Belief, The Honeymoon Effect, and Spontaneous Evolution, that was co-authored with Stephen Bauman. Now, in 2009, Bruce received the prestigious Goei Peace Award from Japan in honour of his scientific contribution to world harmony.
Dr. Lipton began examining, this is the good stuff, folks, the principles of quantum physics and how they might be integrated into his understanding of the cell's informational processing systems. In other words, how do cells work? His research at Stanford University School of Medicine between 87 and 92 revealed that the environment operated through the membrane controlling the behavior and physiology of the cell, and that's what turns genes on and off. His discoveries, which ran counter to the established scientific view, and that's true, very counter, that life is controlled by genes, gave rise to one of today's most important fields of study, the study and the science of epigenetics. Two major scientific publications were published from these studies by him, and now subsequent papers and other researchers have since very much validated these concepts and ideas.
So for those of you who are not science-minded, let me ask you this. What controls who you are and your chemistry? Now, choice number one is that it's your genetics, your inheritance, and that you might get diseases because of your mum and dad. So, for example, if they had diabetes, then potentially you are going to have diabetes. Or we have choice number two, which is your environment, things that happened to you in your past and what is happening now. So Bruce has absolutely proved that your environment is responsible for not only your biological setup, but even how you think. With that information, is it possible that how you think can actually change your cellular structure and your health, the diseases you might have, and your lifespan? Now, I know that we have such a beautiful, advanced community on Healing Wednesday, and all of you will know that the answer to that question is a resounding yes. Hence, Bruce's book, The Biology of Belief.
Bruce has taken his award-winning medical school lectures to the public, is currently a sought-after keynote speaker and workshop presenter very, very much. He's probably one of the busiest guys I know. He lectures to conventional and complementary medical professionals and to, of course, people like us. He reveals leading-edge science and how it dovetails with mind-body medicine and the spiritual principles thereof. We're very fortunate to have him with us today. Bruce, thank you. Welcome to the show.
Oh, gosh, you guys, I'm so happy to be here with you. And it's interesting because once I really started to understand the nature about how our consciousness controls our biology, our genetics and all that, the immediate destination was to end up being with you. Because this is the message you've been downloading for people for years. And I appreciate it so much now from a scientific point of view, because in fact it is science, consciousness, energy fields, quantum physics, belief issues. These are the things that control our genetics. And I go, why is it relevant? And I go, Well, the conventional story is genes turn on and off by themselves, and you didn't pick them when you got here, and you can't change them, and your life is now out of your hands and into those genes that willy-nilly turn on and off and give you cancer today or whatever. Oh, my cancer gene turned on. And I say, when we've been teaching that and the public has taken this in, then we're left with a situation today where people feel they are victims of the life they live. That when it's not turning out the way they want it, it really because of other people. I'm a victim of things. And victim means powerless, basically. And I say, so why is it relevant? The answer is the idea of what is called genetic determinism. That's what the public has been programmed with, even though that's not the leading edge of science. The public has been programmed with genes control the character of their lives. And as I said, I didn't pick them, I can't change them, and they go on and off by themselves. Then genes control me and I don't control them. I'm a victim of my heredity. Well, that's the old belief, but unfortunately, that's the belief that most of the world is still programmed to believe in. The new science is not called genetics, it's called epigenetics. And you go, well, it sounds like the same damn thing. I go, no, epi means above. So let's say, I say conventional belief, cancer, is genetics cause cancer. Okay, genes cause cancer. That's the belief system. And I go, no, cancer is epigenetics. And you go, but it sounds like the same thing. I say, epi means above. So I say, oh, what do we call skin? Epidermis. I say, what does that mean? Well, just below the layer of the skin is a layer called dermis, and skin is just above it, so it's called above epidermis. And now I say, cancer is under epigenetic control. I go, what the heck does that mean? I say, control, epi, above the genes. The control is not in the genes. The control is in how we respond to the world. And that control is what absolutely turns genes on and off. More than that, it can change the readout of the genes. You could be born with a mutant gene and have a normal life, or more importantly, you could be born with normal genes like most people are, but because of life that's not in harmony, that life that we're struggling through, stress is really the cause of illness, basically then it says I can take a healthy gene and create cancer. And all of a sudden I go, wait a minute then, I, through my perceptions and my lifestyle, are controlling my genes. I go, yeah. And I said, well, what's powerful is that, well, you're the one that is doing this. You're the one that can change it. I can change my perception. I can change my lifestyle. I go, so what's the consequence of that? I go, well, then you're the one that controls your genes. And all of a sudden I go, we move from I'm a victim of my heredity to I'm a master of my genetics. But the problem is it's based on consciousness. And if you have a consciousness that says that you're a victim, then unfortunately, that's what's going to manifest in your life. And listen, I'm talking to this audience. This is, a Kryon Monica audience out here. You already know this stuff, but now there's a scientific principle for it. So it's not a new age, oh, that's a nice idea. I go, no, this is the science. Your consciousness is controlling your genetics. And you can change your consciousness and therefore change the character of your life. That's what it comes down to. And then the bigger thing for me is I wasn't a spiritual person. No, I was genes and proteins and biology, cells and all that kind of stuff like that. No spirituality. But as I started to understand the nature of how the cell mechanism controls its genes, and how proteins on the cell surface, like little antennas, like television antennas on the roof of your house, are bringing signals in. The most important thing I learned is no two people are biologically the same. I go, yeah, you cannot take your cells or your organs out of your body and put them into another person's body because their immune system will say, not self, and the immune system will eliminate them. So all of a sudden I say, wait, my immune system can tell if your cells are my cells or whose cells are who. There's identity. That's how the immune system would say, this is not our cell, and the immune system might eliminate it at that point. So I go, so why is it relevant? I say, well, obviously, if my cell is being put into your body and your immune system could say not self, then your immune system must be looking at something that determines who we are. And all of a sudden, I started to understand the nature of it. And on the surface of our cells are these antennas. They're called self-receptors. Now, in the conventional world of biology based on pharmaceuticals and Newtonian physics of a matter universe versus an energy universe, they used to say, oh, it's the receptors that makes you different. That it's these proteins, these physical things. But then when you understand the nature of how proteins work and how they respond to environmental signals, then you start to realize the receptors are antennas. I have a set of antennas that receives an environmental signal different than you have, different than anybody else has. Each one of us has a unique set of these antennas. I go, so what's the relevance? The antennas are receiving an environmental signal. And so where's your self? I go, well, it's these proteins. That's what science says. I go, no, the self is the signal picked up by these proteins. And you go, oh, okay, so my identity is due to these receptors called self-receptors. I go, yes, it is. And I go, if you take the self-receptors off the cell is generic. It's not you. It just is called whatever, a cell, liver cell, bone cell, whatever. And I go, but when you put your receptors on the cell, then it's your bone cell, your liver cell. I go, so what? So this was my big wake-up call that like lightning blew me away, was my identity is a broadcast picked up from the field by a set of receptors that is unique to each individual person. No two people are receiving the same broadcast. And I go, oh, that's real interesting. I say, no, it's more than that. Because at that moment, I realized something. The analogy, you're watching a show on a television set. And I say, the show is not in the television set. The show is picked up by the antennas and played through the television set. So here's my analogy. You're watching the Bruce show on this Bruce television set. And I go, why is it relevant? I say, well, you know, when the television breaks, we say television's dead. And I go, yeah, it's dead. It's not working anymore. But the question is, did the broadcast die when the television died? No, it's still there. You can get another TV and plug it in and turn it on. And when you tune it to the station, the show is back on again. Oh, reincarnation, my folks. Not being a spiritual person, it was like, I can't die. I'm not even in here. I'm the broadcast. And when you come back again, different TV. Does it make a difference if it's a male or female? No. That's the TV. That's not who you are. Does it make a difference if it's white, black, brown, red, yellow? No. That's the TV. That's not who you are. We are the broadcast. We are an energy field. And the relevance about that is in physics, the term field can be defined as invisible moving forces that influence the physical world. I go, whoa! Same definition for what? Spirit. Invisible moving forces that influence the physical world is like, a guy who wasn't spiritual in 1 minute was like, I'm spiritual. And it changed my whole life, because the most important thing I got out of that moment is we cannot die. We're not even in here. And just to close off this little rambling thing here, I have to say, as a scientist, I was like blown away. This 1 minute went from not spiritual Bruce to, okay, I got it. We're all spiritual entities in the field. And Science Bruce asked himself a question. Why have a body? Why not just be the spirit? And that's when I found out I had Jewish comedian cells. And why I say that is because I asked the question, why have both a body and a spirit? Why not just be a spirit? And the cells asked me a question. In return, I said, why have both? And the cells asked me, Bruce, if you're just a spirit, what does chocolate taste like? Now that's deep. That you gotta have to stop here for a minute. Let Lee and Monica say, what the hell is that all about? And the idea is this: the body is a device to translate the environment into experiences: visual, auditory, smell, taste, touch, pain, pressure. Love is a feeling of chemistry in the body. I go, so why is it relevant? I say, the body is an enhancement for our spirit. The body can have these experiences, and this alters our spirit. I said, what do you mean? How can it alter our spirit? I said, we're a signal coming in on a broadcast being picked up by our self receptors. And then we say, yeah, but my consciousness and my thoughts are in my head because I can put wires on my head called electroencephalograph, and I can read my consciousness. And I go, yeah, but that leads to the belief that my consciousness is stuck in here, that your thoughts are stuck in your head. I go, there's another device that reads consciousness. I go, what is it? It's called not electroencephalograph. It's called magnetoencephalograph, MEG. I go, what's relevant? The probe in magnetoencephalograph doesn't touch your head. I go, what do you mean? I said, there's a probe out here that's what? Reading consciousness. I go, what does that mean? And the answer is like, your consciousness is not contained in your head. You're broadcasting it back to the field. And I go, oh, so I'm sending a signal in of self and I'm receiving a signal from self. And all of a sudden I say, what does that do? It changes my energy field of who I am. Karma. Karma is your life experiences send back energy to your source, and it can take it out of harmony and put it into disharmony, bad karma. And then, but you also have an opportunity to come back in and change your consciousness. And that's where your power comes from. And Kryon has been telling us that same message over and over and over again all this time. And it's like, it's scientific, it's quantum physics, it's cell biology. And so that's why I love to be with Lee and Monica, because we're getting information from that field, from that source. And it's the most powerful information because we are the field. We are that source. And when you listen to Lee and when he gets into Kryon and hear the download, then you're getting a direct message from the field that is giving you an opportunity to wake up and recognize your thoughts are manifesting this world. Now, the problem is you might say, well, if I'm manifesting this world, my thoughts, then how come there's so much crap going on around here? Am I doing that? And I go, well, yes. And the story of epigenetics is basically how environment controls the genes. And I say, yeah, but what reads the environment? I say the nervous system reads the environment. The mind is controlling the genes by interpreting the world. And I go, and therefore your consciousness is creating your life experience. And then you say, yeah, but did I create this crap? I go, well, yes. But I said, you didn't know you were doing it. I go, why not? Because what people don't recognize, there are two minds. Kryon has talked about this forever. There are two minds. The conscious mind is directly connected to your spiritual field, but the subconscious mind is a database of programs. And I go, so why is it relevant? I say, the brain is a computer. And when you buy a brand new computer, you can bring it home, plug it in, turn it on, it boots up. And I say, now do something, write an essay or do a drawing or something. You go, oh, I can't do it. But I say, you got a brand new computer. You say, not until I put programs into the computer can I use that computer. And it turns out in human existence, the first 7 years of our life, the brain is in download. Download of what? Observing the family, how they live, the rules, the behaviors be necessary to be in a family. But you're also observing the community. What are the rules and the behaviors necessary to be part of that? And I say, first 7 years, you're downloading other people's behaviors, mother, father, community. And I say, these are the programs that get you off the ground. First 7 years, your life is into those programs, okay? After age 7, you become conscious because the first 7 years, theta is just below consciousness. But when you become conscious, then you can type on the keyboard. Then you have opportunity to put the programs or change the programs or, to work with yourself. But people don't recognize this at all. And they don't recognize the fact is this, that when we are thinking, the conscious mind is not typing. When you're thinking, you're inside with a thought. So the conscious mind is not doing anything out here. I say, yeah, but what if I'm driving the car and all of a sudden I have a thought and I'm not paying attention because my conscious mind a thought is inside. My conscious mind goes inside thinking, I'm driving a car. What the heck's going to happen now? And I go, subconscious is autopilot. It knows how to drive a car. It's a habit. So guess what? The moment your conscious mind is thinking, subconscious steps in, drives the vehicle according to the program. And I go, guess what? 95% of our life is not coming from our wishes and desires, conscious mind. 95 is coming from the subconscious program, because that's how much time we spend thinking, redirecting the conscious mind instead of looking out, thinking, conscious mind looking in. So are you running your life with your wishes and desires, conscious mind? I go, 5% of the day. Then where's your life coming from? I go, the program. I said, where'd you get the program? From other people. Did they program you for your wishes and desires? I go, no, you're copying their program. Most of it is negative. So we struggle through life thinking, I wake up in the morning, today, conscious mind, wishes and desires. Today, I find that one I'm going to be in love with. Today, I'm going to get the best job. Today, I'm going to get healthy, conscious wishes and desires. And I go, but the problem is only 5% of the day are you creating from that. 95% of the day you're creating from the program that you got from other people. And in fact, the Jesuits have told people for 400 years, the Jesuits have said, give me a child until it is 7 and I will show you the man. I go, what's the science? I say, first 7 years is programming. Yeah, then what about the rest? I say, 95% of the rest is the program. So what if I control your program in the first 7 years, as the Jesuits said, I'll show you the rest of your life, because you're going to come from that. And this is why the work and messages that are downloaded from Kryon, and my dear friend Lee is, offering through the system to give you these messages. This is not New Age anything. This is absolute hardcore quantum physics, cell biology. It's science. You're very, very powerful, except for your programming. I believe this is the message you've been saying, Lee, right?
It is indeed. And the reason you're here, and the reason I love to have people hear you talk, is because indeed, you got a New Age channel, and I've been saying these things, and it gets then perceived, because of our program, as not scientific and not important and mamsy-pamsy sometimes and something in the sky. And here we are with science that validates what we think we can become and what we think we can manifest. And that is not just in our personal lives, it's on our body, and it's how old we're going to be, and all the things that we talk about. And now there's science to go with it. Okay, the people are going to say, how can I turn the corner to get rid of some of these programs, or at least alter them in order to get on a track that's different?
Well, Lee, even a more basic question than that is, what are my programs? I said, what do you mean? I said, well, you were being programmed from the last trimester of pregnancy. That was 3 months. Then you were programmed from 0 to 1. That's a year. You were programmed from 1 to 2. That's 2 years. You were programmed from 2 to 3. That's 3 years. I say, you have basically 3 years of programming that you have no conscious awareness of. By the time you're 3 or so, you will have some memories of some things. I say, but what program did you get when you were 0? I have no idea. I wasn't there. Okay, well, when you were 1, I have no idea. I wasn't there. And so I say the biggest issue is we don't have a memory of the program, because our conscious mind wasn't working at that time until after age 7. So I go, now we're in a problem. I say, the programs are creating your life. And you say, but what are my programs? And I go, here's the fun part. 95% of your life is coming from the subconscious programs. Your life is a printout of your programs. I go, so why is it relevant? I say, you want to know what the programs are? Look at your life. What does that mean? I say, look at it this way. The things you like and the things you love and things you want that do come into your life, well, they come into your life because you have a program to accept them. But, and this is the big one, the things that you wish for, desire, and you want to have, but you have to work hard and struggle, sweat over it. I'm making a lot of effort. I'm going to make this happen. I'm working on it. I'm going to make it. I go, why are you working so hard? And the answer is simple. Whatever that destination is, your struggle is not because you can't have it. Your struggle is because your program doesn't support it. So all of a sudden you say, oh, where am I struggling? I say, wherever you're struggling, that's where a subconscious program has thrown a monkey wrench into your ability to manifest. And the movie The Matrix, oh yeah, that's a science fiction movie. I go, no, the movie The Matrix is a documentary. Every one of us has been programmed. That is a fact of life. That's the basis of the movie. But here comes the cool part. In the movie, you were given a choice of 2 pills, a red pill and a blue pill. I say, what does it represent? They say, well, if you take the blue pill and you wake up and you're back into the world just the way you've always seen it. But if you take the red pill, you get out of the program. I go, ooh, what does that mean? Well, I can tell you what it means because almost every one of you out there has taken the red pill at some time in your life, maybe more than once. And it was the most profound thing that ever happened to your life. And I go, what was that? And I say, when you fell in love. It could be in love with another person. It could be in love with gardening. It could be in love with painting. It could be in love, cooking food, whatever. When you're in love, you stop thinking. I go, well, so what? I said, remember, your conscious mind is the wishes and desires, but it doesn't work when you are thinking because then it's going inside for thought. But when you fall in love, you stop thinking because now you stay present. You stay in the moment. You're looking for a relationship and this person shows up. It's like, is this a time to think? I go, no, because thinking takes you out of the reality. You stop thinking. I go, well, wait a minute. So your life is blah, 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 blah every day. Then you meet this special person and 24 hours later, oh, life is so beautiful. I'm so in love. I'm so healthy. I glow. I'm happy. I love my life. The world is great. And I go, up to yesterday, it was blah, 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 blah. And now 24 hours later, you manifesting heaven on earth. I go, what is the difference? I say, when you fell in love, you stop thinking. And then when you stop thinking, then your life is now controlled, not 5% of the day, but 90+% of the day, your life is controlled by what? Wishes and desires, conscious mind, not playing the programs with the negative beliefs in them. And I say, just stopping in 24 hours, you can go from blah, blah, blah to heaven on earth. You know what? Heaven on earth is there every day. It's only your program that takes you away from that. And if you change that program, you can automatically change your life. And that's what people do all the time.
And that is what this program is all about.
Yes.
Wow. We, believe it or not, are out of time.
It's incredible.
No!
Yes, but
12 more hours.
because you're known for what you do so well and the amount of words per minute and all these things that I knew we would get, it is such a treat to hear again what I've heard before and what we teach and what you teach. And also I know what our family teaches all around the planet.
Yes.
And incidentally, if you didn't put it together, Bruce gave concrete scientific evidence for why we have that book, Biology of Belief. And then his other book, The Honeymoon Effect. Mm-hmm. Bruce is a living example of being in love every day.
Every day.
He's in love with life.
Every day I wake up and first thing is, oh my God, I'm still alive. One. Number two, oh my God, I'm in love. And from that's the rest of my beautiful honeymoon world every day. A honeymoon can last as long as you want it to, as long as you don't fall back into the program of negativity.
So people go to brucelipton.com. What are they going to find?
They're going to find all scientific articles, audios, videos, downloadable things for free on every topic that we talk about, from how the cell works to how the honeymoon works, and the evolution that we're in process right now of experiencing, which is so fundamental because people just see the chaos without recognizing this is one of the most important stages of human civilization we're in at this very minute. Mm-hmm. Because humans and their behavior have precipitated what are called a mass extinction. Mm-hmm. 5 times in the history of the planet, life was thriving, and some event wiped out up to 90% of life, and it had to start all over again. Mm-hmm. The last mass extinction, 66 million years ago, is when the dinosaurs were here. A comet hit near Mexico, big one, upended the web of life. Guess what? 75% of life disappeared, including all the dinosaurs. Mm. And then we started all over again. And here we are today with a planet that was thriving, but is now facing this mass extinction, the number 6. Mm-hmm. But it's due to human behavior. We have to learn that life is not a war and competition with each other and a survival of the fittest and a struggle. Mm-hmm. That's not life. Mm-hmm. Life is harmony, cooperation, and love. A garden is not a battleground. A garden is a place of heightened cooperativity. We came from a garden. And look what we're doing to it. We've undermined the web of life. And now our own survival as a species is in question because we are in a mass extinction right now, losing species 1,000 times faster than normal because of what we've done. So it's a wake-up call. And I said, well, what are you going to do about it? I said, well, start listening to somebody like Kryon. He's been talking about this for years. But people are like, oh, that's nice. That's nice. I go, no, it's not nice. It's science. It is the mechanism of the universe. You're getting it direct. Now, the question is this. Yes, my conscious mind, the creative mind, has taken in every word that Lee said and goes, yeah, that's great, that's great, that's great. And I go, yeah, but you're not living from your conscious mind. You're living from your subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind doesn't learn that way. So your conscious mind could be very, very smart, and your life looks like garbage. I go, well, why? Because you're not living from your conscious mind until something like the honeymoon effect, and all of a sudden you see, oh my God, the world changed. 24 hours since the moment I fell in love, I went from blah, blah to I'm in heaven. And I go, wake up. That was not an accident. That was a creation that got you out of the program. And Kryon has been telling us for years the same story. And it's like, yeah, your conscious mind has got that message. Kryon has been telling you, I know, I'm going to pass the Kryon exam. He's going to give me questions about what Kryon said. I know the answers. I go, did your life change? I go, oh, your conscious mind got the answers, but it's only working 5% of the day. So guess what? There's a problem in manifesting what Kryon is talking about. Until you understand that, oh my God, I have to change the subconscious programming, and then I could live the Kryon life.
Oh, thank you.
How beautiful. And that is what Healing Wednesday is all about. We have had so many presenters sharing how you do that exact
Let
thing.
me just please add one last thing here.
Yes.
Sure.
I want to thank you both so very much. I learned a lot. And I learned a lot because my science opened the door to say, oh, what Lee is saying is science, so listen to what he's saying. That's good. But as importantly, I want to thank the audience, because you are the cultural creatives that are seeking another way of life on this planet, and that it's you that are going to make evolution. Evolution is an active participation. We're not going to sit home and wait and then one day walk out the door and go, whoa, evolution, how beautiful. We have to create it. And that's why the messages that we get from you are the messages of let's not just survive, let's thrive into the future. And that's my recommendation. That's my scientific insight. And these are the words that you both have been helping us to understand. So thank you, thank the audience, thank Greg back there for helping get the stuff out here on the web, all that stuff like that. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Bruce. And we are going to take a very short break, and then we'll be back for the Circle of 12.
Welcome back, everyone, from the break. What can you say about Bruce Lipton? I mean,
we're still on cloud nine, so I don't know about everyone tuning in.
I want to say, Bruce, cheer down, will you? And folks, I've worked with him for years, and so I've seen the real Bruce Lipton. And remember, I've told you about this free show that we've done that we invited you, Kryon.com/Bruce, lowercase. And he's just the same way. I mean, the man is this way. And this is why we just love him. He's the real deal.
And he's such a delight. And not only that, his information is profound.
It is.
It's just the beautiful bridge between science and spirituality.
We're talking